Okay, so it's a wet and windy morning in the West Midlands of England, but however, I did win a random prize draw on Alien Dungeons Facebook page, and I managed to win myself some models, which is pretty cool. So what I've got to show you are 8 miniatures. These are Centaurs for the Fanticide game. So here's the first few. Here's a few more. And then here are the bases as well. But anyway, so I'm going to go through them a bit by bit. So these are Centaurs for the upcoming Fanticide game, which I'm very excited about actually, because it's going to be a great fantasy skirmish game basically. And it's for the kind of people that like really odd and new designs that just aren't too over the top. So I'm not really into Malifaux because I think it's a bit too I don't know, it's too distinct. You can't use any other miniatures for it, whereas Fanticide, the idea of it is that you can use these miniatures that I've got here along with some other ones they're going to do specifically for Fanticide, and then whatever else you have in your bits box or just miniatures you're not going to use anywhere else. So for example, I've got some killer snowmen. I don't think I'm going to use them for much else other than Fanticide. So that's very exciting. But yeah, these are the Liberi. I think that's how you pronounce it, or Liberi. They're basically Native American Indian themed centaurs with a tribal culture. The miniatures I got sent are 4 with spears that you can see here, and then 4 with bows, and we're going to go through those one by one and see what they actually look like. Okay, so to start off, they sent me some bases, so it's 8 bases from Renedra. I think it's Renedra. Yeah, Renedra. It says just there. Basically they're just green plastic bases, same sort of plastic Games Workshop use. In fact, I think Renedra used to make Games Workshop plastic moulds. So yeah, they do loads and loads of bases, but these are 25mm by 50mm cavalry bases. Okay, standard stuff really. So let's move on to the guys with bows. So there's 4 of these Centaurs with bows. These are pewter castings, so white metal like we're used to. They're all different poses, and they're single part models except for one who has got a separate bow. So if I can get it out. So let's have a look. So here's our models, and here's our bow. So it's a very simple little piece. Just pop that to one side and we'll focus on the models themselves. So as I said, it's 4 different poses. The first pose is this one here. So it's trotting along, almost running I guess, and it's firing its bow. It's got a very nice quiver with some arrows in there too. There's a bit of flash, that's not an issue, I can get rid of all that. It's quite a small model actually, that's what surprised me. I'm used to quite big models, and it's weird, I think the horse body is smaller than your average 28mm horse. I don't know if that's because they're Centaurs or what, but I assume that's what it is. Just so that flow kind of fits a bit better. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's grab out another one. So this one has got a club and a bow there too. And they've all got like these feathers and stuff. That's quite nice. Got a big spike on his club. I don't know if that spike's meant to be there or not. I'll have to look through their pictures. But yeah, and then you've got the feather detailing along there as well. So what's going to be really fun about these is doing all the handprints and patterns and stuff that Native Americans used to put on their horses, or might still. I don't know anything about Native American culture. We don't get many of them around here in South Warwickshire. So there we go. I'll have to have a look and see what I can find out. Okay. So this one here is firing backwards, and he's got his shield as well. So that's a really nice bit of detailing. The metal's quite strange, but they're very nice castings. There's no issue with it at all. I haven't seen anything that I can't like fix. It's not like there's any air bubbles, and there's not like any pitting or anything, which on these smooth surfaces is quite hard to achieve, having no pitting. But they've managed it quite well. Okay, so finally, out of all the bowmen, this is one that has the separate bow that slots into there. He's got a shield as well, this guy does. Just got a feather sticking up. With a bit of flash on it. But yeah. He's actually pulling back to get out an arrow there too. Again from a quiver. The quivers are really nicely sculpted. It's got a good sense of motion, this one. Really cool. Just such smooth sculpts, they're very intricate as well. So it's going to be great fun to paint. Okay, so that is those 4 Centaurs there. Got another 4 here. So these are the spear-armed ones. Okay, so once again, I've got 4, and I'm going to go through them one by one. So these, I don't think there's quite as many variants. I'm not sure. They're very similar poses because obviously they're all charging. Okay, so this one's charging forwards. The spears were bent pretty much all the way down, which is a bit of a shame because it's quite a thick bit of metal. I was surprised it managed to bend quite that far. I don't know if it's quite a soft pewter that they've used. I'm used to the stuff Alternative Armies uses, which is rock solid pewter, you know. That might bend just like a little bit. It might be a little bit skew-iff, but it wouldn't bend the whole way down, so I don't know. It's actually weakened the metal a bit. But I don't mind, it's not an issue. If it gets that bad, I'll chop it off, I'll re-drill it and pin a bigger brass, well, the same size brass rod in there and see what I can do. Again, the shields are nicely detailed. Hair's good as well. And more feathers, so once again, just going to be nice fun to paint up. It's a very similar one, if not the same. Yeah, that's the same. So those 2 are the same. Okay. Again, gorgeous casting, no pitting. This one's slightly different. So there's our comparison. But again, he's running forwards. This one's lurching forwards just a little bit more. Reaching out to drive his spear into something. So there's 4 factions so far that Alien Dungeon are going to be doing for Fanticide. There's these guys, the Liberi, or Liberi, or Liberi, or whatever they are called. I will have to find out. Please, if you do know, please put a comment below and let me know. There's also the Creeps, the Kingdom of Odd, and the Fae, I think. I really like the other factions too. If anything, I think the Creeps are my favourite. It's between them and the Kingdom of Odd, because the flying monkeys are just pretty cool. So this guy is kind of a more restricted pose. He's not running, but he's just about to throw his spear like a javelin. Again, that's a really cool pose. And the tail reflects the motion of the horse nicely. Shield's really well sculpted. You've got the feathers on there as well, which just looks really nice. Okay, so that is the Fanticide models that I got sent by Alien Dungeon for entering their competition. I'd like to thank the guys at Alien Dungeon for giving me the opportunity to win. I really appreciate it. And hopefully soon you guys will be seeing painted up pictures of these very soon. So cheers then guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. Let me know what you think about Fanticide. And don't forget to check out their Facebook page, which will be down below, because they are running a competition to win some creeps, just like I won some Liberi. And they're also running a Kickstarter campaign, which I am pledging for very soon when I can. So best of luck for them with that, and best of luck to everyone else who gives a bit of money to Fanticide. So cheers for watching guys, I'll see you soon, bye bye.